I kind of think this transitions us to the next topic, right? This is our
Right.
clickbait topic. Our clickbait topic. Like, is the Russian server that much better? Like, are their players that much better than NA? Like, is EU that much better than A? Like, why is there this huge difference? Well, how's it going, man?
Good. It's good. I'm interested about what we're gonna talk about today. Clan stuff.
Yeah.
Considering like I stopped doing clan stuff, kind of,
Yeah, well, I mean, you're streaming all the time. It's kind of hard to be available for clan wars and all of the activities. But yeah, I don't know. Did you want to kind of lead it this time, or do you want to just jump into it?
I think we should introduce you again, because I'm sure there's a lot of people here who don't know who you are.
Okay. All right, I'll just do a brief synopsis from last time. Yeah, so I was, it feels like a past life at this point, but I used to be a sports writer, and I worked for ESPN for 6 years. I covered the Portland Trailblazers for 3 years as a credentialed beat writer. And I got out of it to, basically just change my profession. But I miss creating content. And, so we kind of just concocted this idea over the course of a couple weeks, right? To talk about tanks and getting better at the game and whatever is going on in World of Tanks right now, and just I think that's pretty much it.
You needed a creative outlet since you missed.
Yeah.
You're a content creator, but different content. They call us content creators. I don't know if I like that term or not. I always think it's kind of silly.
CC.
I'm a content creator.
Yeah, you're a VIP. You're a very important person.
When they first made the it was just a community contributor program, and then they added a lot more people to it. But then they had like 2 tiers. They had they had partnered, and they had, I guess they're just, I don't know what they're calling the other ones, just those other guys. But they gave us this title, and I was like, are you guys kidding? It was like North American World of Tanks community contributor, like partnered, like I don't know, it was like 8 words long.
On the resume.
Yeah.
You get a business card, hand it out,
How many battles do you have, by the way, in tanks?
I can tell you. I think it's like around 26,000-ish, maybe.
Okay. I think I'm at like 34 right now.
26,262.
Okay. So you've played this game for quite a while.
Yeah, and I took some pretty long breaks though. I mean, created my account in 2014 and really just played off and on until about August of 2018, and that's when I really came back and like really kind of I don't know, it kind of clicked and like started playing better, really started to improve and watch people like you and get better at the game. So I've been playing for about 2 years straight now.
Right. Were you in a clan the whole time?
Yeah, I've always been in the Reddit family.
Oh, really? Oh, Reddit.
Yep.
Reddit has like, I don't know how many clans, but they all it's like a tiering. Like you advance depending on winning, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think in theory, yeah, there's some more social clans toward like Reddit 6 and Reddit 2, and they're like more just for doing like strongholds and
right.
Platooning and stuff like that. But
honestly, I think that's the kind of clan to join at this point. Like that'd be my preference, just strongholds and stuff.
Yeah, we had Palm in a couple of our advances a while back.
Oh,
Palm
really?
came in his 279.
Oh, he's just flexing on people.
Yeah, yep, flexing. I remember we were on Abbey and we were like, Palm, just go to the Abbey. And like he was just up in there in his 279, like nobody could kill him.
He's like, well, you guys don't have one of these? or like 279 and you join the queue and you're like, you just type in chat, I have 279, and it's like instant they put you in.
Yeah. I mean, that was like over probably a year ago. So I mean, it really wasn't a common tank back
Oh,
then.
yeah.
Um,
When it first came
yeah,
out, it was even like less understood than it was now, so it's even stronger.
yeah. I mean, God, people really had no idea how to pen it back then. There just
Right.
weren't very many of them on the server. So, um, but yeah, and then you've been in some really good clans, right? So you've been in. Okay, this is an important question,
I'm
and
very
I need
loyal when it comes to clans. It's kind of interesting.
I need to know, and I think there's a lot of people that are curious as well. How do you pronounce? Is it Maho? Is it Mahu? Is it like how is that word pronounced? Because I've heard it pronounced so many different ways.
Right. One time Doctor Disrespect was streaming tanks when version 1.0 came out, and they did like that really big social media blast. And he kept people were donating stuff, and then there's a lot of Mahu guys like, hey, play with me, Mahu. I say Mahu. I actually say it two ways, but he's like Mahui. Like, I don't know. Thought it was funny. I say Maho most of the time, but right there I said Mahu.
Yeah,
I think it's because I heard you say Mahu, but
yeah,
I say Maho.
yeah. That's how I thought it was pronounced first, and then other people call it Mahu, and I was like, I don't know.
I
I don't know.
It probably doesn't even. I don't know. Yeah, Maho.
I've heard people pronounce it Maho too. Like Mahau. I've heard Mahau before, and I was
Yeah,
like, what? So yeah, I don't know. It's a funny name.
chat saying
Mahau.
Mahao.
Mahau. Yeah, it's open to interpretation, right?
Well, so
Uh,
why'd you join a clan? Like you did it early. You have friends in it or something?
no. When I started playing, it's like my buddy that got me started playing. He didn't stick with it at all. So like I didn't want to play by myself. So I don't know. I go on Reddit all the time, right? And I found the subreddit, and they had like a recruitment post on there or something,
Right.
and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you know. And that was back in like 2014. So um, then I've just always kind of gone back to them. So I don't know. I haven't really branched out. It's a pretty chill clan. So
Well, they
you
probably
know,
liked you. I mean, it's hard for clans, especially now. It's hard for clans to find people who want to play, meet the requirements, and are going to show up and play. Like, there's a lot of
yeah.
recruiters who just go and like message people just all day. You know, like they're like, "Hey, you want to join a clan? Here's our pitch. Please join."
Yeah, unless it's a campaign and there's a tank reward, and then people come out of the woodwork.
Right.
There's plenty of people that want, and everybody's yelling about fame, right? I need fame. Get me in the game.
Yeah.
I need some fame, man. I need my tank.
Well, it's better now than it was though, because you don't have to have fame. Like, you just have to play 5 battles and you could bid bonds. I mean, I guess bonds are valuable to some people. To me, they're not, because I don't spend them.
That's what I did this last time. I did I did two of the last three, like, and actually played, and like I got a 907 and a chieftain. But this most recent one, I couldn't play at all. So I did like the prerequisite 5 games,
Right.
and but it was expensive. I think the minimum bid that anybody really said got a tank was like,
25.
I think it was higher than that. I think it was close to 27.
That's how long does it take to earn 27,000 bonds? Is that like a year worth of?
These days, not long. I'm back up to 20, just between like ranked and
Oh, if you do front lines
front,
too.
front lines. It's not that hard. I mean, I was at like, I think
Right.
almost 40K, and then I bid 33 to get a VK. Like, I really wanted a VK, so I bid 33.
But it's like,
Uh,
what would you rather have? Would you rather have like 5 pieces of equipment or 6 pieces of equipment that give you like a 2% extra bonus? Or would you rather have like a tier 10 tank that's really good? I would rather have the tank
yeah,
for
and
5 battles of gameplay too. You don't have to be in a clan for real.
that is going to be a topic for another day. Because I think that bonds are they're a whole other topic all unto themselves. Whether or not it's worth it to spend them on a tank because like I see that a lot on Reddit. People like, hey, should I buy the Patriot with bonds in the bond shop? And I'm always like,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
don't
No.
don't
Nope.
do that. Don't do that. So we'll talk about that a different time. But I think the first topic we were going to talk about, and I kind of want to just give you a chance to kind of talk about this, is another question I see is joining competitive clans. Like people are like, what do I need to do? What tanks do I need?
Right.
All that stuff. So like, I just kind of want to let you jump into that. Like, why do you think someone should join a competitive clan? Like, what are the advantages?
Right. Well, for me, the reason I joined was Clan Wars wasn't the goal when I first joined. It was getting better at the game. Because, I mean, it was just a good way to connect with people. And I tried to find a clan that was like slightly above where I was at. And I played with people from that clan because I always wanted to platoon. And then it was just like it's kind of like people right now, they go on the WAT NA Discord and they do like looking to platoon. I was like, I don't want to do stuff like that, or go on the forum and ask people to platoon. So like a clan was way easier, and you're instantly accepted, and you make friends in there, and then you just, for me, it helped me get better.
Yeah.
And then I realized like the strongholds are really fun, and then I was like, well, these strongholds are really fun. What's next? And it was Clan Wars, So I started doing Clan Wars. Like there's monetary benefits, like the thing I learned after I got more involved with like Clan Wars is that like, wow, I can earn enough gold to pay for my premium time for the month. And I don't have to spend any money on this game. I don't get in trouble with the misses. So that was another reason for me. But I think you have to be in a pretty good clan though I just got 5 gifted subs. Exile, thanks man. We got the sound off just to let you guys know, but thank you. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I think we were just talking about like the advantages of like platooning and stuff with people that
because I wanted to be good at the game. And to me, like clan was kind of like a way to help me. And then there was a lot of things about the clan stuff that I liked. And I ended up being like a caller and like actually really involved with it. Like an executive officer and a caller. And it was like really time intensive.
Was that in Maho or was it in a different clan?
No, that was my first clan. It was called EMPRR. It was like a Star Wars themed clan. It was like the Empire.
Emperor?
Yeah.
Empire? Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
The Empire did nothing wrong. Are you a member of that sub?
Well, it was funny too, because at the time I joined it, the clan leader was like a really big Star Wars fan, and he was like moving to the dark side. And I was always like, oh, I'm on Luke's side. But then like I became the dark side. Like I started liking the dark side better. It's kind of fun.
Man. Are you more of like, what's your style of calling? Like, are you more of a yeller or are you more of like a laid back? Because I mean, just based on how you stream, like I don't see you as like the yelling type.
It was laid back. The clan, I like giving people a lot of responsibility too, instead of trying to micro call them. Because micro calling is kind of rough, and some people do it way too much, I think.
Yeah, calling's hard, man. I've never really been drawn to it. There's a lot of pressure on you, and if the clan doesn't do well, then you kind of shoulder a lot of the blame. At least I think people, if they don't say it, they're thinking it.
Right. Well, I think what people don't realize is that, well, like for me, when I was a caller, I put so much time into it. Like I would sit in a strat sketch with like another guy in the clan, and we would talk strategy for like 2 or 3 hours. Or like we would go into training rooms and like look at positions and like really study the maps. It made me really good at the game doing that. Yeah. And so going into Clan Wars night, I'd already been working for like 2 hours. And then these people just show up and they queue up for 10 minutes like, oh man, like we have to wait so long to play Clan Wars. And we play and they lose. And then if they're like rude to you, it's like, just leave, man. You're just like a soldier, Like they have no idea. We had a lot of respectful people in our clan though.
Yeah.
Like for how much time we put in, we didn't want to put up with people whining about like bad calls and stuff. because no one
How
else was willing to put in the work for that. You know,
how long ago was that?
that was at least 4 years ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then you were in Maho, and then now you're in Chai.
yeah. I'm in Chai, but I don't really play with them anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they're still, at least overall. I think they have the highest collective win rate on the server.
Right. There's a lot of good players in there. Yeah.
Um, we're gonna talk about that a little bit in the next topic, but one thing that I do see a lot of is when somebody wants to get into a competitive clan, they're like, okay, well, what tanks do I need? Like, what should I, what should I go for? Like, if I want to get into that clan, like, what should I be focusing on? So, like, I'm curious, like, what would you recommend
Right.
for like meta tanks and
The
stuff?
meta, the meta right now is so screwed up. It's reward tanks is the meta right now.
Yeah.
Um, and they say, okay, who has a chieftain? Oh, no one has a chieftain. Okay, who has? And then eventually you get to tech tree tanks. But
hmm
who has a 907? Oh, no one has 907. Okay, who has? And then they name a medium, like tech tree.
140.
Yeah, a lot of clans will have. If you're looking at clans, they'll have requirements for like what tanks they want you to have. They'll be like, please have at least 3 of these tanks, and they'll have a list.
hmm
So, I mean, usually like tech tree tank wise, like the 277 is good.
hmm
The 430U is good. The EBR 105 is good, and it's hated by a lot of people. There's certain tanks that will be used, like 2684. I've seen Leo used. It's just kind of, I've seen 50Bs used. Basically nothing. No German heavies.
Yeah, the mouse never gets used anymore.
Yeah, TVP.
Uh,
Like, there's tanks that just don't get used. Like, I don't see TVP get used. I don't see 13105 get used. The only light tanks that get used are like Manticore for spotting, EBR, and that's it, I think.
Man, I've never seen a Manticore in Clan Wars.
It's
I never have.
I know Palm is saying that he brings it when he can, because they can sit in bushes that normally a T100 can't sit in because they're really short.
Yeah, they're small. It's almost like a even 90, right? Like you can hide in places that the other light tanks can't hide.
Right, but that might be on like
Um,
1 or 2 maps that you use it.
I'll say this though. If I were just starting out in CW, I would not focus on an EBR. I feel like
No, it's
if
kind of
it,
specialized.
like you are really trying to step into a specialized role that has a lot of pressure on it.
Mhm.
Because if they bring you in the game in the EBR and you die in the first 30 seconds, like
Which happens to good players sometimes.
yeah, it does. Yeah. I mean, that's good players. And sometimes RNG will screw you over, like you'll get shot once and catch on fire and it's over.
Or
But
like you're docky and you like crash and flip.
I saw that twice. um
Yeah,
so
it's if you're new to clans, usually the best bet is to go for a heavy. Like, and if it's tier 10, it'd be 277 or S-Conk.
yep.
And it'd also be good to run tier 8s with your clan. Like tier 8 strongholds or advances, and just get your feet wet too.
It's sad though. Like I loved when the 5A used to be more meta, and I don't really see it very much anymore. I
No,
love that tank.
I think it's just not fast enough. Speed is very important in clan
Yeah,
wars. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You'll either see like the 277 or like the 260 are like really the two
Yeah.
fast heavies that you see the most.
Speed just
Uh,
dominates a lot of the time.
yeah. Um. So yeah, I think that's probably it. I think Jai Reister basically laid it out like 277, EBR, Leo, 140, S Conk.
Yeah.
Artie's another one. I wouldn't focus on that if you're just joining. Um, but like, how would you? Because you've been in a few clans. Like, how would you determine if a clan is a good fit for you?
Oh, it's so nice now. You can just play with them. You don't have to have like
Yeah.
a commitment to them.
Yeah.
You could just ask for permission of being in advance, and then you get to see how
Hmm.
their comms are. I think comms are the most important thing
Hmm.
because there's some clans who are like really toxic on comms, and like the main thing is like for me, I wouldn't want to have a caller who tries to demean people when they make
Hmm.
mistakes. Just be informative but not demeaning. And some people
Hmm.
are, man. They just like put you down really bad, and
Yeah.
it's not worth being in it. But people sit through it, and you can find that out in one night, like really quick. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've seen that style of leading for a long time, though. I mean, I used to play like World of Warcraft a long time ago, and same thing. Like raid leaders would yell at people in dungeons and stuff like that, and it's a style that can be effective, but I'm personally not a fan of it either.
I mean, like maybe they could use it once in a while, but I mean, public embarrassment is usually not a good way to help people grow. This is like
No.
we're getting to like leadership, psychology, I guess, a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think what a lot of clan callers do is they use that negative energy directed towards other people because it covers up like their misplay a lot of the time. And they're
Hmm.
the caller, so they're allowed to be noisy and like you can't really argue back.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really want to get into the with the caller like in front of the
Right.
clan.
And then
So
there's some clans that are like really into comms. It's always I wouldn't want to be in a clan like this where like I think some banter is good and some guys are like comms, 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 no one talk. And like only the caller can talk. And I'm like, come on. Like let's have a little bit of fun here.
yeah. Yeah, I mean I get it. Like if you're in the middle of a fight, you don't want a bunch of people talking at the same time. Like that makes sense. But going into a fight, like I don't know. I think
Right.
people should know their job, right? They should already know that. So
So
yeah.
does Reddit have like really strict requirements for activity?
I don't think so. It's like I think it's only like 3,000 boxes or something.
Oh, they do it by
And
how
like
much you earn.
yeah, yeah, and
Oh, industrial resource. So you can play strongholds and stuff and earn those.
yeah, or just God, I mean, just play tier 10. Honestly, you'll get a ton of boxes if you play a lot of tier 10.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I've liked the officers for a long time, um, but yeah, they do have requirements.
Because
Wood
clan,
paneling. Good. Yep, I chose the wood paneling background. That's what I chose.
well, like his clans who want to be active, like they can't recruit people and have them not play, so they have to have requirements.
Yeah, especially like when you're going into like a campaign, you really don't want to have a bunch of people that are on the roster that don't show up.
Right. So if
Um,
you can field 3 teams as a clan, you have a really good shot at getting a lot of people tanks.
mhm.
Most clans can only field 1 or 2 though.
Yeah, and the biggest problem is maybe you can field two, but maybe you don't have enough talent overall to like it waters down your talent pool.
Right.
So, obviously, like some of the top clans don't have that problem, but some of the mid tier or the lower tier clans do have an issue where they can't really put enough talent out to fill two or three teams.
Right. Well, that's one thing I learned with being in a clan because I was friends with the commander of EMPRR,
Uh huh.
and he treated it kind of like a business. And you can't you have to set expectations. So you have to kind of have like a clan. Um, I don't know. People have to understand what is required. You can't be like, oh yeah, we're chill, join us, and then all of a sudden like, okay, we need lots of activity for this because like, well, that's not why people joined you. So like
Yeah.
being a clan that is, we mentioned earlier, if you're in a clan that does like they're like a skirmish only clan, it's like really fun, but you're never gonna be able to field clan wars because people probably won't be active enough.
Yeah, and it's tough though because like I said, when a campaign comes out, you'll have all these people that want to join to get a tank. And a lot of them aren't going to stick around. Like they're just basically a mercenary. They're going to show up, they get their tank, and then they leave. So you have to be careful giving games and fame to somebody that's not going to keep that tank in the clan. You're never going to see that
Right.
benefit.
Yeah. So you have to get
So
people well before any of that starts.
yeah, yeah, and that's why I've been a fan of bringing in people that maybe are not quite at the skill level that you want, but train them up, and then maybe you'll develop, some loyalty, some chemistry with that person.
Right. Oh, I think a lot of people join clans and they stay for quite a while. At least like a few months. Which I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like for most games that's really long. But for
yeah,
tanks, some people stay in clans for years sometimes.
yeah. I mean, at this point, like, do you even did you do the last campaign?
Uh, no. I have so many reward tanks. I think the only tank I could have picked from it was the T95 E6, and I was okay with that. Not having
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So what would bring you back? Like if they came out with another tank, would you want to then go back and do campaign?
No, it's for me. It's not the rewards. It's the gameplay.
Mm,
They'd have to fix the meta,
yeah.
and they'd have to. I would love to see like a complete redesign because I don't like the 15v15 clan war
Hmm.
system right now, and I don't like the reward tanks being allowed in clan wars. It was not fun. The problem with clan wars is a lot of good teams. Like when you're playing a good team in a tournament or something like cross region, like Maha was playing like a top EU clan. A lot of times they have map bans,
Hmm.
and so you try to pick maps that favor you, and maps that you're bad at you ban. And
Hmm.
the way clans look at a lot of the maps is like that's a one-on-one map. Like,
Hmm.
but like both teams will win on defense, or both teams,
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah. So certain maps, like there's really not much point even playing it because you're usually gonna lose if it's the same skill levels. It's spawn dependent for who wins, and it's just kind of depends on like how good the defensive side is on the map. I think on certain maps, I would love to see it be like I don't know, like Encounter or something where people can't just sit on the cap circle and not move from the base and play
Yeah.
super heavy tanks. Like you can actually force them out. I would be
Yeah.
more interested in if something like that happened.
Yeah. That's why I've really liked tournaments, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, that kind of stuff, because mostly they're encounter, and so there's actually some strategy, and
Yeah.
anytime they've done a tournament that was an actual standard map, it's always a camp fest. Like, it just ends up being boring, and then you end up getting
Yes.
a lot of draws. So I
Well,
agree. I think encounter would be more fun.
the thing that sucks in situations like that is a lot of times you'll go into a fight versus a team where it's a neutral game. So they can't win by defending or drawing. Like in
Mhm.
Clan Wars, if someone owns a province, you're allowed to defend. You don't have to kill or cap. You can just win by a draw.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
then like you cap. But then what teams do is if they know that they're the underdog and it's a neutral game, they'll camp still. And then you have to go and try to break a turtle even though it's a neutral game. And they shouldn't be able to win by draw, but they figure like, well, we don't have a chance to win anyways. So let's just camp. And if they attack and then they throw, because they're attacking into something that's hard to kill, then maybe we can win. But if they don't attack, we'll just sit here the whole time.
Yeah.
I hate it. I
Yeah.
hated that. I really hated that.
Yeah. I just, part of the problem is the maps are just not very well designed, and they really don't promote as much strategy as I would like. I feel like other competitive games are better at designing maps that are, I don't know, competitive. It's just, yeah,
It
it
was,
it doesn't make for very entertaining
yeah.
watch.
It maybe Encounter would be the same way. Like if they don't design it very carefully on Encounter, it's gonna still be like a one-on-one map where, like, oh, if you're this
Mm.
spawn, like you just have a really good angle to defend the cap or something. Like it would take a lot of thought from them, but I don't think they're interested in reworking it or anything. It's been the same way for so long. It's just how
Yeah,
it is. That's one of the reasons I stopped playing.
yeah, yeah. I also feel like they don't. The one thing I haven't really understood about wargaming is I feel like they're very stingy with rewards. Like to me, I would think they would want to incentivize people to do end game content, not just play randoms, you know? And so, yeah, rolling out a new tank every once in a while is great for campaigns, but I still think the payouts are just kind of weak, like they just don't want to give out very much free gold or free bonds or whatever.
Someone in chat just says, "Is this Joe Rogan?"
I
Or
wish, dude. I wish I was as in shape as Joe Rogan and, was as awesome as him. Um,
I think
okay.
the rewards are good right now in the game, as because they give a lot of like blueprints and stuff. Yeah, a lot of the unique rewards in Clan Wars that only go to like the top clans, anyways.
Hmm.
Like the styles or whatever. Like I think I got like an electric style a while back, and it was, you know, you had to be in a good clan to get it.
The lightning one?
Yeah, I think that was a clan.
Yeah.
I think it was a clan camo.
It was for like the top, God, what is it? Like the top 600 people or something
Yeah,
in the campaign?
something hard.
Yeah. Um well, so I kind of think this transition us to the next topic, right? This is our
Right.
clickbait topic. Our clickbait topic. Did you watch any of the Maho versus RU clan? Um, are they like exhibitions? I don't really know what you call them,
I
right?
didn't
Like
know what that
they're
was. Yeah. It's cross region. It's a lot of work to set up because you have to make a lot of accounts so that everyone has the same account to make it fair. Like when Gold League happened, that's what they did. They had
Mhm.
press accounts or whatever. I saw people in Discord chatting about it because I don't usually tune in to watch clan stuff. It's not normally that interesting for me. But I saw people in Discord saying like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening?" So I logged in to look, and I guess Maho got beat really bad in the first two games, and then I guess they just started messing around. Like both teams started just bringing like nations. It's like all French
Mhm.
tanks, all German, or like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I guess that Maho was just outclassed, like super bad by the RU clan, like where
Mhm.
they had no chance at all. And then I saw, I watched some of the Maho versus Devi or Devi. I don't know how to
Uh-huh.
say it.
Yeah.
And I thought they did really good in that one though. I
Yeah.
had fun watching some of that.
I heard that when that Russian, so I think the Russian clan is called Oil. That's what Ordnoth was saying. But they actually beat Devi like 5-0, 5-0 when they
Oh
played them.
wow,
Yeah,
it's just another level.
they're insane. And so it just like I know there was kind of a debate, at least on the Reddit Discord, we were talking about this a lot. Like, is the Russian server that much better? Like, are their players that much better than NA? Like, is EU that much better than A? Like, why is there this huge difference?
Right. I remember when I was doing like Silver League and I was talking to people about European clans and Russian clans. And I was talking with some former Gold League players who had played the Russian clans, like Navi, I think.
Hmm.
Navi had a guy named Strike, and at the time, I don't know if I think he still plays. He was considered like the best player in the world at the time or something. And I was like, well, what makes him so good? And they said like they just play together so much that like they don't even really need to call. Like something happens on the map and they all just respond. They know what to do because they've
Hmm.
just been there, done that. And there's the chemistry was just so good. That's what they're saying was so incredible about Navi at the time. Because I
Hmm.
mean, I had never played a team of that caliber, but they had. So that they were saying like we would have to like think about on call rotation, but all of the Navi guys would just do it instinctively, and they were always
Yeah.
faster than you every time.
Do you think that it's just that? I mean, obviously, okay, there's a huge population of players on RU, right? Like
Right.
five times or more, five times
Huge. Yeah.
the amount of players that we have here. And EU is also way higher than us. But is it, you know, that they're just used to playing against
Oh,
way more? Like there's more
They're saying 30
talent,
times in
right?
chat, 30 times more.
Wow. Is it just that they have a bigger pool of really good players, so there's more top tier clans? Because like I'll just give you an example. So I was trying to look up, I was trying to find anything I could just to kind of get an idea of like, okay, where's the difference? And so I was looking on Watt Labs, and for NA, uh, like the top 10 clans, you have Chai, number one, with an average win rate of 29-24, right? The 10th best clan, NA, is Yujo with an average win rate of 24-40. If you go to RU, you've got, it's just staggering. Okay, their top 10 clans, their 10th best clan, the average win rate is 2,800. Their best clan, the average win rate is 3691.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And just looking at like EU, Devi's average win rate is just a little over 3K. So it's just it seems like they have more talent, so they have more top tier clans, whereas we only have, a handful on North America.
Right. So they don't get a lot of experience on NA server compared to what they do on the RU server for sure. I think even on the EU server, like the field that they play against is so much deeper. The interesting thing to me though, like when it comes to like player skill, because I think what makes clans good is like the teamwork and like this sense of play in terms of like clan wars. Because when I've played on the EU server, and I re-rolled on it for a little bit, and I was doing way better than I do on the NA server. And I was like, how am I doing so good on this server? Like, but yet their clans are so good. I think it's just because like they just have higher competition constantly than the NA server does.
Yeah. I mean, I watched that advance that you had, and this was like a few weeks back, where you guys brought like what, like 6 Artie or something, and you still won.
Right.
And it was like, you guys dropped like an Artie strike on like 8 of them. This was on Cliff, I think. And it just kind of, to me, it like illustrated that the difference in talent that you could run into on the NA server. Whereas like these guys are having to just like beat it out over, who's top on their server, and there's just so many good clans.
The thing I would love to do is I would love to talk with one of them and like find out how much they play together, how long they've played together, how much time their callers spend doing strategy, how many clan wars. I don't know. I would love to see like how much they actually play versus, and like the clans are good too, and they probably play more. But I really don't have any of that information. I would love to know.
Yeah, like it really makes me curious because, like in other games, players from South Korea are like just insanely good, like way better than most of the players from North America. You go to like Overwatch or, some of these other first-person shooter games, or StarCraft even. Just the South Korean players are insane, and so it's like, it just makes me wonder, like, okay, well, where's the difference? I honestly don't know. Like, is World of Tanks like the top game in Russia? Like, is that their best game that all the best gamers play?
Oh, right. Like, whereas on NA, like a lot of the professional gamers are always sticking to like the new games that just come out.
Yeah, exactly. So they're playing, Valorant right now or whatever. They're not playing World of Tanks. So I don't know. It just made me kind of curious. Like, I would be interested to explore it more. Another thing I'm curious about, and I think you kind of mentioned it, and would like to explore it more, is the meta. Like, is the meta on RU different than on NA? Like, do our clans play differently than theirs do? Like, our strategy's different.
I've heard that they like to use Artie a lot more than NA does. I don't know if that's true or not. And I've watched. I think there's this Russian streamer named Lebshaw. There's actually a camo in the name that I have with his name on it. It's like, I guess it's his clan name, or I don't know. But I watched them attacking on Prokhorovka, and it was insane. Like the positions these guys were taking, and they're winning like positionally. I think like they're just kind of squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. But on NA server, I feel like there's a lot more like pushes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like they try to win through like overmatch, but I feel like on Russia they win through positions and just outplays.
Yeah, do you think that like the Russian players, it's more like down to the individual player,
Oh, did I
like
ruin
just
the camera right
being?
there? Oh, I changed screens to check something. Oh, I
Oh,
did. Whoops.
um, but
There we go.
yeah, I don't know. I was really curious about, because I mean I've heard that the meta on EU is different too. Um, like Quickie Baby came over to North America, and our players play more, um, aggressively than they do, or and things like that. So I'm just kind of curious how that would factor in. We're used to a lot of pushes and brawling and stuff like that. So, um,
Well, I wonder if there's like a way to see like the average game time on NA server versus average game time on RU and EU. That'd be interesting. I feel
you
like
mean
on
like
NA,
games played?
no, like I feel like on NA, a lot of the games are over in 5 minutes
Oh yeah,
in random battles.
I don't even know where you would look that up, like
Yeah.
because like Watt Labs, they don't really go into that. The data has to be somewhere. But yeah, I mean that would be a really good indication of meta and how people play the game. Um, but one thing I was kind of wondering about is like if you took the 15 best players on North America, put them on a team, had them play together. Like if there was an Olympics of World of Tanks, like, and you put the 15 best from our server and 15 best from theirs, how would we stack up? That's I would be really interested to see that.
Oh, but see, I don't feel like, because then it's about chemistry though, not stats. Like the Russian team just played together for so long. That's why they're better. So they just had they're in sync, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Someone sent me a statistics page. I'm looking at it real quick. I just can't open up the chat in Discord because then it like bugs out the camera. But he sent me a message saying that there was like 3 million players on RU server for the week, while in NA it was like 100,000 or something.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get like 20,000 a day, maybe. I mean, it's just not even remotely the same world. Um, yeah, I don't know.
All we can
I'm
do is
just curious.
speculate, I guess.
Yeah, we can only speculate. It's hard to the numbers just really aren't there. I'd probably have to watch more Russian gameplay just to try to get a better idea of like how they play the game and how different it is. Because anytime I watch like EU streams and stuff like that, I don't know, it feels very different. You were saying you seem to do better over on EU. I mean, do you think it's because of their meta? Do you think it's because there's more players, so it's more watered down? Like, what was your
Oh,
impression there?
I felt like it was more watered down. Like I feel like on the NA server, I feel like there's almost unicum in like every game you play.
Hmm.
But on EU server, there wasn't. They're much more spread out, more rare.
It's almost like going down to like the lower tiers where there's a lot
Right,
more, like sub 1K win 8 players.
right. Yeah, I think
Um,
that'd be it.
well, I mean, so we only have like 12 minutes left. I was gonna ask you about 1.9 and what has been your impression so far.
I don't feel like anything changed.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like I can see the change in the tech tree. That's it. And like someone in chat said that they nerfed the they nerfed the T67 and what else?
The Panzer 1C got nerfed pretty hard from what I heard.
Which is good. I hate T67s. I'm so glad I don't have to grind anymore and play low tiers, because playing against certain people and things like that was just a horrible experience.
Somebody's saying they nerfed EBRs, and I don't feel
I
like
yeah, I don't know. Someone said that I heard someone say they make them turn sharper, and then the next patch they're gonna make them lose mobility. So they didn't nerf EBRs; they made them more mobile, going in reverse. They made them better.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the nerfs to the Panzer 1C and the T67 though, I think those are good. Those are good nerfs just because low tiers are so rough, man. If you're new to the
Yeah.
game,
Someone just asked, "Why
like
do you hate the 67?" I don't like low tiers in general,
yeah,
but that one
it's
especially, the T67, can like it can outdrive, it can outspot, it can out camo, and it can outshoot like any tier 5 tank. And it can kill any tier 5 tank in like less than like 12 seconds or something. It's just crazy.
yeah, and it's always a guy that's been playing it really long with a really good crew in it and like food. It's not just that the tank's great, it's the guys that are playing it that make it,
Yeah,
awful.
it's always a tough discussion. It's like the low tier stuff. It's like, why? It's because some people are like, hey, I play a lot of low tier tanks. Why are you knocking what I play? And it's like, okay, so why do you like playing low tier? Do you like it because you do well? Or do you like it and so then the question is, why are you doing well? It's because because most of the people you're playing are new, or don't have crews, and they're grinding tanks. They don't have modules, they don't have equipment. So
Yeah.
it's just the advantage you have over the average player at tier 5 and tier 4 and tier 3 is insane for like what you're running, versus like if you're playing at tier 10. It's more of a fair playing field.
Yeah, and there's no meta. Like it's just chaos. It's complete chaos in the low tiers because like a lot of people have no clue what they're doing. They don't know the maps and they just like drive out in the open. It's basically like two teams of Lord Sheens. There's no meta in the low tiers at all.
Well,
Uh,
if you're a stat patter, the meta is camo net binox, and then just sit in the same bush all game, because no matter who comes at you, you can kill them before they can get close enough to spot you.
yeah.
Because you just kills people too fast. They can't cross the gap to kill you. So they'll just sit in a corner. They'll go somewhere they can have shots at the start, and then they'll just fall back, and you just can't kill them.
No, it's there's not a lot of educational value in the low tiers, honestly. Um,
No,
I agree. I agree with Orange Chaos though. The arty in low tiers is
horrible.
is it's bonkers. Like it hits so hard.
They're more likely to pen too.
Gosh, it's like Wargaming hates new players. Like they don't want anybody new to play the game. They're just like, no, we're gonna make this as bad as we possibly can for you as a new player. Ugh, it's just awful. Um, but yeah, I just don't think there's much to gain down there. There's no meta. Like, yeah, you can learn bush mechanics, but like,
Oh, chat just
I
said, isn't the logic to play the 67 the same logic used by those who play Chieftain and 279E in fandoms?
uh,
I think, I mean, maybe, but I think that the advantage the T67 player has in general is way bigger. Or low tier players in general.
the caliber of players that you're gonna go against at tier 10, even in a Chieftain or a 279, is so much harder than the caliber of players you're playing in a T67.
Yeah.
Like a good player can easily average 4K win 8 at tier 5. Easily. Probably more, honestly.
Well, like what you'll notice a lot of times is they'll have like 60+% win rate in their stat pattern tanks, but then in their tier 10 tanks they'll have like, a lot of them will have like 40, like low 40% win rate.
Yeah.
Because they can't play against people who have the same advantage.
Yeah, it doesn't carry over at all. I think so that's the question. So what tier, if somebody's new and they want to learn how to play the game, what tier do you think is the first tier that really starts to show people like meta and strategy and all that stuff?
Tier 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, tier 6. And chat's saying it too. What's up, Hobo? Can we only buy the skins and stuff with anniversary tokens?
I think so.
Uh,
The new ones, yeah, I think so.
Right, so you have to
Well,
grind the tokens.
you can buy the tokens too. Wargaming would never do it without selling them. You can buy the tokens.
I heard a lot of people getting mad about the T30 reward, or a lot of people. I was reading comments on Facebook. They're like, "This is all we're getting," and they're saying like, "No, like there's more coming," but they couldn't say what it was. People are like, "Give us more stuff, more free stuff."
Yeah. They rolled out their 3 anniversary tanks. I don't know why they selected these 3 tanks, but the KV5, the Mutant, and the KV220. And those skins only work on those 3 tanks. They're special for those 3 tanks.
Yeah, they actually gave them to me, and I can only use it on the 220. It's the only one I have.
Yeah.
It's kind of
There is
interesting.
one. There's one skin you can put on any tank. I can't remember what it's called,
But they're not really skins. At least the one I looked at, it was a camouflage.
Yeah.
Like a skin, I feel like it's something that changes the outline of the tank, but a camouflage is just the coloring.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just it was a camo.
Yeah.
Which you could put that on any tank, like you would think. Like, why not? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of underwhelming so far, but you never know. There's a lot more. I don't know what they call them, but they're like different acts or something. Like right now we're in Act 1, and then there's like a.
No one knows what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know.
No clue, because there's like I just completed the Act 1, and then but there's like I don't know 4 or 5 more or something like that. You get a key every time. I honestly have no idea what this is.
Yeah, a lot of it's I don't know. Like from a design standpoint, like the way that they display and show and try to explain to people what you're getting, like people are like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like wargaming. What's your opinion? I'm just curious. What's your opinion of those 3 tanks? Like, because they're for sale in the premium shop right now. So you got the KV5, KV5, the Mutant, and the KV220. So like, what do you think of those 3 tanks?
KV220, I don't know anything about it. I don't think I've ever played it. The KV5, I think it has high HP. It's kind of fast, especially downhill. Like you can ram with it. Flat ground, I don't think it's very fast. So it's like the i7. Flat, it's slow, but downhill it can go fast. And fast firing gun, but low pen. And then people can pin the little R2D2 on the front all the time. So it's hard to like not die in the KV5. But it's pref. The armor on the Mutant is much better.
Mm-hmm.
But
also
it's kind of like a Frankenstein tank.
It's very tall.
Yeah. I played it. I didn't like it though.
You should stream the 220. That tank, I agree with Serial Killer. It's a broken tank.
No way. Is it fast?
Oh, dude, it's got a ridiculously strong hull. Like and at that tier, because it's tier 5, most of the Muppets at that tier don't understand weak spots. And so they just keep shooting the hole and they don't pen. It's so broken. And the turret is the weak spot.
It's a KV3 hole. It's a tier 7 hull armor on a tier 5.
Yes. It's so broken. And the turret is the weak spot.
But people aren't going to shoot that first.
But people don't shoot the turret because it's smaller.
Right.
It's smaller and it's not an obvious weak spot. So
I'm gonna play it after this. I'm gonna try it.
Do it. Yeah. No, you should try it out. I played it a few times. I think I got it from I feel like I got it from a loot box. A Christmas, like maybe like 2 Christmases ago. I don't remember. But it's so strong. And right now, like the low tiers are kind of broken because of the changes in 1.9, because they added HP. but the marks haven't adjusted yet. So um, my stats are looking a little bit bad right now because I've been trying to 3 mark the Panzer 5.4. I don't know if you've ever played that, but that tank is also really broken for tier 5.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it
the
has a
mark
derp gun.
no, 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 no. The 5.4 does not have a derp gun. It
It's the H that
is
has the derp gun.
yes.
Okay,
The Panzer 5.4 was a black market tank.
is that the one that looks like a TIE fighter?
It kind
It has the
of
straight panels on the side.
I don't think it does. But it is it was really easy to market when they sold it in the black market a year ago. And I got it up to like 90% and I stopped playing because I got bored. And now it's really hard to mark because so many good players have it.
Okay.
Um, it's a really tough thing, but you can actually I've out DPM T67s in that thing. Like you will just melt them, but it has armor. So
I wonder if I have it.
you might.
Maybe we're doing a tier 5 stream.
It's a really fun tank. I enjoy it.
Interesting.
But it's broken because again, people shoot the hull and it has a really strong hull. But the 220 is fun, man. It's slow. It's really slow, but it's people don't really know how to shoot it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically like playing the Panzer 5.4 is basically like playing an E50 at tier 5 and you just like ram people to death. It's really funny. So
I'm gonna try the 220 for sure. I don't know if I have the 5.4 though.
you should look and see if you have it. It's a fun tank. Well, I mean, we're right at an hour. So, if you want to wrap it up here, we can call it and you could go play the 220.
I will. I'm gonna go play it. Sounds like fun.
You should. It's a fun tank. It's a fun tank. Um, well, thank you for having me on again, True.
Of
I think it was
course.
another fun podcast, and we've been talking. We think we're gonna start doing this every week. So again, if anybody has any suggestions for topics they want to hear or any questions or anything, definitely reach out on the Discord.
Yep. At Zerker or just at me. And we'll probably next week. Wednesday. Is it Wednesday?
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what day of the week.
Yeah,
it is
it's
anymore.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Yep. It's Blur's day. It all just blends together. Anyway, all right, True. Well, I will take off, but good luck. Enjoy your 220. I'll probably watch for a little bit. And other than that, man, have a great evening.
You too. Nice chatting with you.
Thanks everybody for definitely. Thanks everybody for tuning in.